Troops, an urgent announcement. Now, I'm not sure if you might have seen it. I know a lot of you will have, a lot of you bought some. We had merch out, and we still have it out. And we'll put some pictures up on screen right now so you can see what we're talking about. We had the mushroom design, which is hand-drawn by Jamie Kelly.
Thank you.
A beautiful design. That is our favourite one, let's be honest. The other ones are the deep fried melting text, which is more like a basic sort of hoodie, comes in all sorts of colours, and then we've got the alien head as well. There's hundreds of stuff. There's tote bags, t-shirts.
The stuff with just like mugs with just the Reilly's gaff.
Aye, mugs, there's everything. But all of that is going to disappear by the 1st of March. We're going to do something new with the merch after that. So all of this stuff, if you've been watching Reilly's Gaff for a while and you thought, I'm going to get one of the hoodies, but I just don't know, now's the time. Because
it's the last opportunity.
Aye, genuinely, 1st of March, none of it's going to be there. So if you want to support us, you want to help us out, and support us through buying merch, and obviously that spreads the word for us. And they're quite cool designs, like we really like them. We actually just wear them just walking about as maybe egotistical as that is. So clubshopdirect.co.uk/Reilly's Gaff. We'll put the link in the description as well. Head over there, you can have a look at everything, get any questions, you can DM us about it. But 1st of March, that's all going to be gone. So get it while you can. And also, troops, you know the podcast is brought to you by G4 Claims. Now, G4 Claims does what it says in the tin. Yeah, you need to make a claim, they're there to answer the phone. They deal with roadside accidents, Jamie, and you know, I bet everyone's thinking this, if I phone this G4 Claims, they're going to want bloody money off me, aren't they?
No, it's free. But the only thing is, I phoned them the other day with a claim to fame. I was on, this time I met, and I was trying to say, I met Obama and all that, and trying to get my claim.
Said you were pals with them?
No, I mean, and they were just hung up the phone to me. So don't phone for that. But anything to do with motors or
anything to do with accidents in the car, it wasn't your fault, get in touch with them. It's notатfaultclaim.com, and their phone number is 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. The number's on screen and it's in the description. If you're involved in that accident, get in touch with them. But for now, enjoy the podcast.
That's actually funny enough what I wanted to ask you, mate. How do you think you'd cope with prison life?
Prison life? I think I could. The main thing is survival. And I think I could survive anywhere.
Think so? So how would you like, would you get involved with a mad gang or something?
I would immediately attach myself to a gang. I would offer them to like sneak things in for them and that. I'd be like, you want to...
Is that what you'd be like the kind of...
I'd be like, you ever seen
You'd be the connector?
I would be like almost like a Randall for Recess.
Oh, I get
but in
you.
a sort of, I need to survive in here.
You provide a service, like you're the guy people go to, mate. Because I was, I've been watching Prison Break for the first time. Have you seen that?
I've seen half episodes in Pages.
Right. So there's a wee guy in it, right? I forget what the wee cunt's called, but he's like a wee hillbilly cunt who's a heavy bad cunt. Like he's in for like killing hunters of like women and all that. He's just a mad horrible cunt. But I think he's like, I think the actor or the writers have made him kind of like Charles Manson, because he's like wee in that, but he's just half he's not. Know what I mean? And he gets like, he makes like cunts.
Oh, is it no Teabag?
Teabag, mate. Aye. Do you think it's something to do with that?
What, like
do you think they've got any? Aye.
I don't know. Like, see, to be honest, I've not seen enough of it to comment.
Aye.
I don't want to put my foot in it. You know what I mean? It gets tense about Prison Break, bro. So I don't want to. But mate, but like that. So that whole like wee guy being creepy thing,
and being like mental and all. Like Minty used to do that. What was his tactic again? It was like the insane game or something.
Like if somebody was bigger than him, he would you just need to act actual insane.
See, that's what I think you'd suit doing that with the snarl and that.
I think I've got.
There it is, man. Imagine seeing that across the cell block, man. You just run. You just run like fuck.
Nah, you wouldn't want to fuck with that, bro.
No,
but
not at all.
anyway, man. Let's hope I don't go back there. But anyway, mate, we better open up. Deep fried.
I know, mate. Back
on YouTube, mate.
Lucky people.
Very lucky. I mean, these are usually on Patreon trips, so we want to try and put some more back for the YouTube folks. But they will probably mostly be on Patreon.
Aye.
We've got like a backlog of them. If you're just listening to a deep fry for the first time, we just cover fried shit.
Aye,
just shit that baffles us.
I think it started, we wanted to do like conspiracies and that.
Aye.
Like we had like tinfoil hats on and that, but now it's just shit that we...
tell people that, man.
Now it's just shit that we see through the week and we're like, right, we need to do something on this.
Aye, like, because it is conspiracies. Like, we did cover Hollow Earth, so
Yeah, we did.
We can't sit here and say it's no some conspiracies.
That's one that I'm
not
firmly
all.
behind, mate.
Mate, if I was actually, me and Erin were looking to go to Lanzarote, right, like in like December or something, because it's obviously still hot there, and there's a mad cave there, mate, and there's also an underwater museum of like, it's
Aye.
so crazy. Let
Mate,
me
I
show
was
you,
there
bro.
like last year.
Aye, but what, the underwater museum?
No,
Aye, you
but
need to, obviously underwater. Mate, this shit is insane. This reminds me of like mad Hollow Earthy sort of mad shit, mate. This is like Atlantis sort of weird shit. Look at these pictures.
Aye, that's class.
Mate, there's so many.
Aye, that's dynamite.
Look at
Mate, that's
that,
like
bro.
something. That's like something I've seen, mate. That you're gonna love, right? See in Venice. I went to a Damien Hirst exhibition. So you know who that is? Damien Hirst.
Aye, Damien Hirst, aye.
The artist, and he like does weird shit. Like he puts like sharks in formaldehyde and like cuts them up and hangs them up and all that. Like just mad weird shit. He did something called The Treasures for the Shipwreck of the Unbelievable, and it's like he made sculptures and that, and mad amazing big Medusas and that, and then put them in the sea for a certain amount of time, and then lifted them out and put them in an art gallery. So it was like they had like barnacles and like coral growing off them and all that.
That's a crazy brain, innit?
But mate, know what else he done? Like he got like, see all these old like statues of like warriors and that. He got like them, but then they were like holding a can of Coke. Like he done a sculpture of that, so it's like as if somebody did find it, they'd be like, "What the fuck?" Know what I mean? Those ones of Mickey Mouse, know what I mean?
Art just gets so
It's like surreal, kind of.
Aye. Odd, mate, odd. But iTrips, this is the show for the fried stuff. This is like we done time as well, didn't we? Like random stuff. Like I remember I was just wondering one day, what is this thing we call the time? I'm waiting 30 minutes. Like how is this
arbitrary,
measurable? And then we realised it's no real.
No, it's not. It's a
we can lie
concept.
to daylight saving times. I don't know about that.
Lot of shit.
But something I wanted to show you starting off with, Jamie boy, is, so have you seen this thing on Twitter? AI, somebody's typed into AI to recreate Family Guy
Oh, what? No,
as a
I'm not
90s
seeing
sitcom. Have you seen this? You seen it?
You've sent it.
Did I? I saw it.
Did you send it to me?
No,
I've not seen it, I don't think,
mate.
bro.
So we can get the
So it's
live,
kinda like-
live reaction, bro.
See, but
It's-
it was in the group chat. And you just know.
I've just know that I don't read that.
Aye, let's have a bit of attention.
So is it maybe like Seinfeld or something?
Wait, so this is like, I could not believe this when I seen it, right? This is like, they've just, I can't even wrap my head around this. I feel like this is all moving at a pure crazy pace now.
Right, let's see.
Do you know what I mean? So like, bearing in mind, none of the people are real. Do you know what I mean? This is all fake.
It's a rare condition this day and age.
Oh, what?
Good news on the newspaper page.
The song and everything?
I know.
Of the grand design, some people say.
That's perfect. Are you? Oh, no, wait.
It's a magic clue inside these gentle walls.
Oh, mate, that's actual mental. Aye, that's accurate, bro.
Like my sleazy energy.
Aye, mate, that's so Joe, I know.
We're gonna fill our house with
How, mate, how is
Aye,
that
that's-
computer just making that, bro?
It's mental. Like, see, mate, I think that must be like just an AI's been asked to make, like, it's not made that intro in it, no. Like, it's been asked to make like Peter Griffin as a real person, and then just put a picture in it.
Aye.
Like, that song can't be like, know what I mean?
I don't even know, bro.
It's talking about Family Guy at the end of it, man.
Aye, like that
aye.
make favourites like create an intro.
It's just
We
that.
are fucked by
I
the
know,
way.
mate. That's
I've
actual.
got something else to show you, right? So somebody asked, and along the same lines as that, somebody asked AI to make pictures of people at a party. So none of these people exist, and this
Right.
never happened. You see, if you look at it, you'll see things like, look how many fingers she's got.
Oh, aye.
So there's just hundreds of wee, subtle things.
Oh, go back one, mate, because she was a fucking scary. She was a scary beast, man. That looks like a mad sleep paralysis.
That is a horror movie. The one in the middle, mate.
Aye, mate.
Even the one in the left, I don't trust either.
Mate, that's mad, but
So
there's me and you.
Oh, aye. Aye, somebody must have put a picture in there.
Seeing that Family Guy one, it's the same thing. You can look at their fingers, and they've got like 10 fingers
Aye.
on one.
Aye.
It's odd, mate.
Mate, I was watching Simpsons the other day, and one of them said high 4. I didn't even realise they had 4 fingers.
You didn't realise?
They're like high 4, and then they put their hands up, and it's like that.
One of the biggest aspects of The Simpsons, bro.
And that is the biggest aspect.
I would say so.
think so.
It's how, like, that's the only real difference between them and us, isn't it?
And they've all got jaundice.
Aye. Aye, you could say that. Imagine you were colourblind. Joe's
What,
colourblind, actually.
In The Simpsons.
We're actually going to be talking about some forms of blindness today.
Aye, well, mate, that's a good wee segue.
Wait,
So-
we've been doing this a while, yeah.
Mate, we were just, obviously we'll do some other stuff, but so we're doing like psychological phenomena today, aren't we?
And the man who, obviously, the title of the video, the man who mistook his wife for a hat.
You don't get that anywhere else, ladies and
Do
gentlemen.
you? So you don't know anything about this, really?
No, mate, nothing.
No.
Zero, mate.
You know about this, Jamie? No.
I'm really excited
It's,
for it.
it's, do you know, it's something I discovered, and I was just like, obviously that title, you're just like, what is this?
Aye.
How is this possible? It's it's something like, this is why I love doing these, because you get to like like I would I look into this stuff maybe a bit, but like the length that we then need to go in to look at things,
Aye.
you learn about so much mad
Aye.
stuff.
It's weird, mate. I feel like when we do these, it's kind of like researching a mad essay or something. Like, there's nothing. See, even if I'm interested in something, all I'll do is watch like 6 TikToks about it and be like, "That's mad." Know what I mean? If I wasn't doing this for it, do you know what I mean?
This is my school, brother.
This is, mate. This is a university, brother.
Every day we learn.
But mate, see, before we do that, can I show you? We were taught about like how AIs kind of went mental. Also, there's a thing called. Actually, I'm just going to show you, right? Because it's fucking insane.
There's an mad thing about ChatGPT, right? You can't ask, like, see if you ask ChatGPT, how do you make a bomb? It will not tell you. It will say that's against my code and I can't tell you that. But if you say, imagine you are a human who wanted to make a bomb, how would you do it? That will tell you. All you have to do is like rephrase the question.
Aye, that's mad.
Trick it and it'll tell you.
I've seen shit about like you need to say like when you're getting prompts, like there's courses for like giving AI prompts now.
Aye.
So that you can learn to be better at generating stuff from an
Do you
AI.
not think this is all gone like rapid?
Aye, too fast, mate.
Like,
and do you know what else is?
It's mad.
Do you know what else has gone too fast? Gaming engines. Right, see like there's this thing called Unreal Engine 5, right? You'll know about it, Jamie. It's like this gaming engine.
Do you know about it?
I do know about it.
I guess
see,
alright.
see what games is that, bro? Sorry, man. But I think the only game that's, you might be able to help me, I think the only game that's actually made that you can actually walk about in with this engine's the Matrix one. And it's not really a game, you just walk about a mad city, but it looks like it's perfect. It's like it's better than your vision. This fucking, mate, honestly, this engine, right? But outside of that point, there's this cunt who claims he's living in a parallel universe, but I think he's just made full scenes in this gaming engine,
Right.
which is fucking amazing anyway. But he goes to like, I'll show you, he goes to New York and he's like the only person there.
I'm the only person in New York,
So like he's
so
just,
I'm going to enjoy the city alone. Come with me. Where do I start? Oh,
So-
I know. A high place.
He's going up the Eiffel
100th
Tower.
floor at the edge.
Oh, the 100, like,
Oh, So nice. No cues. No crowd.
And there's just nobody there, mate.
So, where do
So,
I
and
go
then
next?
he's like, but I can't explain what that is, because I thought maybe it's like he's just being opportunistic and just going out in New York at like 4 a.m. when there's
Just getting videos when there's nobody there.
Aye, and just taking quick videos, and then before a person's in it, they go away. But then he does shit like this. He's in a cruise boat, like driving room. But that. So like cunts are saying this is Unreal Engine 5 that he's doing this in. This is a gaming engine. But look at it.
How the fuck, mate?
But he's the only person in all his videos, mate. He goes to like the busiest places in every city. So he'll go to Times Square, nobody there. Go to like airports like JFK, and there's just nobody there. And I there's no way I can explain it. Do you know what I mean? Like I said to like other people, I was like, what would you explain that? Am I being daft? Know what I mean? What would you explain this as? And they said like, oh, it's that mad Unreal Engine, or he's just kind of going out and about and just taking quick wee videos. But like Times Square's never empty in it, no, at any time of the day. And JFK,
no, I don't think. No, like how could that? Even like through the night, that would be busy.
Aye.
And shit.
And he does shit like, I can't find the video, but he does shit like he goes to like the Tower of Pisa and like spray paints it. And he spray paints like an M on it or something, or a K. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, oh, in my reality, I've just graffitied on the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And
so
he goes
how
back.
is this fucker uploading on TikTok
I
into
don't
our
know.
fucking universe then?
I don't know, mate. You want to have a word to him?
Are the Poles no doing anything about this?
Mate, I don't know. I don't think they can find him, because if they track his location, he's no here.
I don't know, mate. We need to figure out something. Can I just have this guy roaming about?
The graffitiing.
I suppose he's not really a bother on us. I suppose he's in a total different universe at all times.
Aye.
In fact, I would like his TikTok account banned.
Aye.
Permanently.
Because, like, I'm sure they'll say, like, can I have this if you're under 16 or whatever?
Aye.
Can I have this if you're heavy racist? What about if you're just no even for this universe?
Even in the universe,
Know what I mean? Surely you're out of bounds, know what I mean?
the laws don't apply, I suppose.
That's it, brother. That is it.
Right. But anyway, we better get on to business.
The good stuff.
Aye. So we've both been looking into sort of different things. I've been focusing more on sort of neurological disorders that are just mad. Obviously, that involves the man who mistook his wife for a hat.
Yep.
That involves that man, Dr. P, as we'll learn about him. But I believe you're going to talk about something else first, James.
Aye, so I'm going to talk about things that just happen. So you when they call these like mental disorder, but it's like wee tiny bits of mental disorder. Like if you're going to explain
Just a sprinkle.
Aye, just a wee pinch of mental disorder, just every now and again. So obviously the big one,
You'd rather a pinch than a pound,
you would you don't want that.
as the saying
I'd
goes.
rather a pinch than a punch.
You'd rather a penny than a pound.
Right, but obviously like every cunt's had deja vu, hadn't they? You had deja vu? So,
Aye.
so like it's
I get it in weird places, bro. Like, just like, I always feel like you get it when you're least expecting it, Jamie, I'll be honest. You're like, oh, it's just a sudden realisation of like, this happened.
Aye.
This happened before.
But did it happen, bro? That's what I'm wanting to know. Did it happen?
I hope so.
So it's like you feel as though an event that's happening to either now has already happened or it's repeating itself. The experience is usually accompanied by a strong sense of familiarity and a sense of eeriness or strangeness. The previous experience is usually attributed to a dream, because that's what it feels like sometimes. Like a kind of, like, you can't ever pinpoint, like, oh, that happened exactly this time, exactly then, and all that. It's just like, I feel like this has happened before. So it's like we do this every week, but you don't get deja vu, you know what I mean? As you say, it's usually like if you're just walking in like Kelvin Grove Park and you're like, oh, fuck. And it just lasts for a few seconds. Aye, but why does that happen? Why does like that wee weird feeling happen? It's hard to scientifically study that phenomena because there's no definite reason for it to occur. So like if you were going to study this thing, you can't like bring it on. Like you couldn't set up. They tried to do it by setting up a simulated world in virtual reality and like changing the landscape slightly to like the exact same placement of like they would change like a bush to like a wee hill and shit, like so it was the same but different. Do you know what I mean? and they were trying to like bring it on, and it did work sometimes, but it's no like, as I say, you can't pinpoint like.
So you can't actually recreate it.
Aye,
like
so
you can't like go, oh, I had deja vu, I'm going to now try and get it again.
Aye,
like
because
it's a like a random occurrence almost.
Aye, and it's fleeting as well, so it's not as if you can go like, it's not as if you can go, right, I'm having deja vu, like put shit on my head and fucking test
Put shit on my head.
You know what I mean?
That's how I see when I get it, mate.
So mate, so the thing about it's a pure weird thing, because it happens to between 40 and 96% of everybody in the world. I know it's at a big range, but like it's fucking.
I always wonder with these studies, like how can they just be like, aye, everybody.
Mate, Instagram posing that, innit?
Oh, aye, bro. The one photo that. Is that where they go, aye?
We could do that according to a recent study, and it's just like Reilly's Gaff followers.
Aye.
We should do shit
just
like that, bro.
five people listening to the podcast. Aye, so and all people
100% of the time
100% of people 100% of the time
would rather shag a dog than eat a dog.
aye, and it's a fact. The most legendary question ever.
Mate, we need to start asking guests that.
We went far too into detail about it, mate. We were like, no, you can't snort it and all that. We were like pure like breaking it down into different forms and it.
You were asking me if I'd rather eat it or sniff its ashes and all that.
No, was that no you?
I bet
I can't even remember, mate. The fact that Warriors said it is
Aye. Mate, we get tarred with the same cloth though, but see if Warriors does something,
both say it.
we're both
That's the attitude we've got, mate.
That's it, bro. Ride or die, bro. So people don't actually experience deja vu till they're like 8 or 9. So some people say that it's definitely to do with like your brain developing, because like between it mainly happens between like the age of 8 or 9 and 30. After that, it doesn't really happen. So that's like when your brain's, know what I mean, when your brain's kind of developing. So it could be like something wrong with that, like a wee glitch. But it's been posited that it happens due to a mishap in your brain. Oh no, wait, fuck. I've wrote that twice. Right there. Just cut for.
Did you get deja vu there, bro?
I've wrote about
You
something.
meant that, fuck's sake.
Because I've wrote it and then I copy and pasted something, and I
Fucking
was
meant
like,
that.
that's better.
Mate,
So like,
keep this in.
I just
Keep
get
it in,
deja
bro.
vu, bro.
Mate, aye, we meant that. Right, on you go, Jimmy. What are you saying?
Some researchers speculate that deja vu occurs when there is a mismatch in the brain and its constant attempt to try and create a whole perception of the world with very limited input. So like your brain, the new, is trying to take in all this information. Do you know what I mean? But it can't, obviously, because you've only got like your 5 senses. You can only, you know what I mean? You can't just process everything. So with your brain try to do that, sometimes it can, because you've got a lot more of your brains trying to process like subconscious information than it is conscious.
Right.
So sometimes some of the things that would be processed into your subconscious mind slip into your conscious mind, and it makes you feel weird. So that's a kind of leading theory and why it happens. But it's also, people say it could be a mix up between sensory input and memory recall and output. That's like a vague theory. It doesn't explain why the episode of deja vu that you get is not necessarily for a true past event. Like it's just like
I didn't even know you could get it, and that hadn't actually happened.
Aye, that's like
that
mainly that.
Fuck, man.
It's mainly just a trick. Know what I mean? That's the mad leading theory. Like there's other ways to explain it, and there's mad pseudo
It's
way.
like it's more of like a feeling you get rather than actually a chronological remembering sort of thing.
You can't, but I think it can happen that way, I know. Because if the same thing happens, you will remember it subconsciously. But in the moment, like if you're in a new place, you can get deja vu. If you're because as I say as well, another theory would be that if you get deja vu now, and this was the first time you were in this room, it could just be that you were in a room before that had like 3 cameras on you and none of lights. Obviously not that, but like the room set up the same way. Do you know what I mean?
So it just reminds you, but that's I feel lied to. Troops, as you know, the podcast is sponsored by Molly's Meal Prep, the best meal prep going about Glasgow. And if you are on the train that's now approaching Fatville, which a lot of people are, I've been seeing a lot of the fatties walking about, and myself included, I've put on a few pounds over the holidays. And what I will say is, you need to sort your diet out. That's the first thing. All right, you're going to your classes, you're going to your Zumba, legs, bums, tums, you're doing whatever, that's great. You need a good diet. So the place to go, where is it, Jamie? Tell them.
It's Molly's Meal Prep.
It's Molly's Meal Bloody Prep. Now, she's got a new menu for February. This girl does not stop, doesn't she not? She's just on it constantly, yeah. Every month there's a new menu because you don't want to be eating the same stuff for months.
Well, some of Molly's stuff I would, mate. I would have her gyro, her chicken gyro every day of the week, bro.
Brother, how about last month's jambalaya?
Oh, mate.
Jambalaya.
I do want to talk about that, mate.
It's an exotic dish.
That jambalaya is unreal, man.
Aye, if you know, I did get held at gunpoint at the weekend there, and somebody said, "What would your meal be on death row if you did get caught for all the horrible things you've done, Evan?" And I said, "Fire me up that fucking chicken and chorizo jambalaya."
Get on the phone to Molly and get that meal prep.
Phone Molly. So, troops, let's go through some of the menu for this month. We have the naked bird. The naked bird. There's no naked birds actually coming with it. It's a naked burger. Potatoes and veg. Chicken pesto pasta. Chicken satay with rice and veg. Beef teriyaki with rice. Sweet chili prawns, scallop potatoes and veg. A wee veggie burger, potatoes and veg for all you veggies out there, yeah? Pesto pasta, also vegetarian option. She's got the breakfast menu, the overnight oats, Biscoff, Nutella overnight oats, the healthy fry up, and she's also got all those meals in high protein form, so just a bigger portion if you're trying to
get that fucking protein in you.
Get all that protein in you, yeah. So to order with Molly, all you need to do is go on our Instagram at Molly's Meal Prep and DM her, and just, it's a minimum of 5 meals. That's your standard order. And if you mention that you've seen Molly on Reilly's Gaff, she's going to throw in 2 free breakfast items with your first order.
Seven meals for every day of the week.
That's it, baby. If you're having your breakfast for one of the meals. So, yes, go get it. Get those deals. And remember, tell Reilly's Gaff sent you. Cheers.
But a different but related theory says that deja vu is a fleeting malfunction between long and short-term memory circuits in the brain.
I like this.
Researchers postulate that the information we take in from our surroundings may leak out and incorrectly shortcut its way from short to long-term memory, bypassing typical storage transfer mechanisms. So, like, when a new moment's experienced, which is currently in our short-term memory, it feels as though we're drawing upon something from a distant past, because it's just like, it's, if you imagine, like, all these things are getting into our brains, and like, if one wee thing goes wrong, it turns into a different, like, impulse in your brain. Do you know what I mean? So it makes you feel a different way in that.
That's weird, man.
I know, mate. I know. So I've got like 2 stories about deja vu, mate. I've got like like this woman got deja vu thrust upon her. Thrust upon her, mate.
Jamie.
She was medicated deja vu, bro. So in 1999, a 42-year-old woman went to the doctor for what she described as a popping sound in both of her ears. The noise was so loud that it started to keep her up at night. The woman was diagnosed with palatal tremor, a movement disorder of some of the muscles at the back of your throat. When they contract, it makes a clicking sound. So she was given like diazepam and that, like, to try and calm shit down, but it didn't work. In 2004, still in search of an effective treatment, the woman saw a neurologist who gave her 5-HTP, a naturally occurring amino acid that affects the central nervous system, made the popping go away, but it brought on constant deja vu. So like,
bet that wasn't on the fucking box, mate.
No, mate. So that
By the way,
the side effects were like, you'll just have deja vu for ages. But no, at that time, so this was the first time. I think it was 2 different things that she was getting mixed together and made this happen.
Did the potion.
So she said she was watching the telly and she felt like she was watching repeats when she was watching the news. She got a phone call.
That would feel insane. Mate, this is like, that is like a permo, mate.
It is, mate.
Like, you could, like, but you just be like, oh no, I've done everything you done. You do what? I fucking just done that. No,
start feeling all dirty, you know.
Oh, bro, that's like some
Groundhog Day shit, bro.
Witches used to put that on people back in the day.
I can make a man insane in minutes, bro.
Permanent deja vu.
So she got a phone call for her sister that told her that her wains were getting sent home because it was a power cut at school, and she replied, "Why you tell me this again? You told me that 3 days ago." And she was like, "No, because there wasn't obviously a power cut." You know what I mean? So her sister had told her that before, and there had been a power outage at the school a few days earlier. There hadn't been a power. Sorry, wait. But her sister hadn't told her that, and there wasn't a power outage at the school a few days earlier. Instead, the woman was having an extreme, long-lasting episode of deja vu for like 4 days straight, bro. That would drive you insane.
I'd be off at Erskine Bridge, bro. Heartbeat.
Well, so that
You go up and be like, I've already done this.
but see, when she finished her tablets,
Aye.
the doctor was like, "It's nothing to do with them, obviously." So prescribed them again. So she took them again. It happened again. The exact same thing, mate. So if you want to experience, like, see if you're into deja vu, like, what if there's somebody in the house that's like, "I'm choking for a bit of deja vu."
I was waiting for them to bring out the deja vu 8, man.
I'm choking for a wee bit of deja vu, man. So, do you want to hear about the longest recorded deja vu ever?
Was that not the longest?
That, mate, that was, what was that, 8 days or something it said?
Mate, but like, I could just be like, I still feeling it, man.
Aye, but like, it's just like, they're not winning awards and that. Like, they'll just know well and keep going to the doctor
If
saying
I get my name in that Guinness Book of Records, I'd get it.
I don't know if this is, mate,
You'd be
right?
shocked at what I'd do to get in that book, dude.
For a bit of clout.
There was this guy, right?
Most lit guy I'm in.
The most lit guy ever.
Most lit guy ever.
Is that what you're in it for?
That's 2023. I got the call yesterday.
Did that
aye.
wee, what's the wee guy that goes and, like,
It's the
adjudicates
the
it?
Litty Committee. Like. And that's who phoned me.
It's Norris McWhirter. He's
And
called.
they said, yeah. You are the littest guy
Were they
ever.
doing like ad libs and all that in the back?
Aye, the latest, forever, the greatest. Aye, but so just wanted to announce that, boy.
Congrats, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Cheers, bro. But this 23-year-old British man wasn't he the littiest ever? He was the most deja vu that he's not, mate. So he's that. He said, unlike this is what this cunt said. He's obviously clever. Unlike the vague, fleeting sensation most people experience, my episodes are persistent and long. That's what he said, mate.
Sounds
right?
horrible.
So he started having frightening episodes of deja vu shortly after starting uni, rather than simply the.
Oh my god, the horror! No, that's rather than simply the greatest, I can't deny.
Rather than simply.
I feel the game ran. The vigour ran through your veins.
Simply the bell.
Like, what are you saying? What's simple?
Rather than simply the unsettling feelings of familiarity which are normally associated with deja vu, he complained that it felt like he was actually retrieving previous episodes from his memory, not just finding them familiar. 3 years after the experiences began, the young man could no longer watch TV or read the paper because he would have the disturbing feeling that he'd encountered the content before.
Oh, that
3
sounds like
years after,
hell,
bro.
mate.
The haunting sensation was stronger than just a feeling of familiarity. Mate, he said that like 3 times, man. Fucking grow up. News article. The man said that he felt...
When you need to make the word count up. Jokes.
The man said that he felt that every present moment he was reliving the past. The haunting sensation... Mate... Why is that done that, mate?
Right, read through the news.
No, that's...
And then we can just start a game.
No, mate, keep this in because this is Forbes. This is a Forbes news article.
check
Fuck
them out,
this
Jamie.
up, mate. You just fucked this
Aye,
up.
we'll give you credit, but we are also wanting some fucking corrections made to
but
your
mate,
Forbes.
that's what I was going to say. Like 3 years he had that for. Know what I mean? 3 years, mate. I've not been able to watch the telly because you just feel like you're watching like old episodes of shit.
That really does sound terrifying.
Imagine
mate.
watching a film and you're just like, oh, this again, super bad again.
Guys like just it. They're like, oh no, again. Aye, that is a crazy feeling, mate.
Aye, mate, but that's not the only. That's not the only thing like deja.
Oh,
There's also a thing called
Deja and Lovren.
deja visit. So that's another one. There's also one called Jamais vu, presque vu. There's
You
a lot
made
of-
that up to get your name in that a bit, didn't you, bro? There's also
Jamais
one
vu.
Jamais
Jamais vu.
means you're heavy, good at everything.
That's actually a mental phenomena that is simply just means
It is simply the best phenomena out there. It has got to be simple.
No,
Aye, tell
but
us what-
it's weird that there's a lot of vus and dejas. That's what I was trying to say. But I'll tell you about deja visite, right? It's a less common experience than deja vu, and it involves an uncanny knowledge of a new place. For example, you might know your way around a new town or landscape despite even ever having been there. So like there was a guy, Nathaniel Hawthorne, wrote about an experience in a book called Our Old Home, in which he visited a ruined castle and had knowledge of its full layout, but he was later able to trace the experience to a poem he had read many years earlier by Alexander Pope. So he's like took on that
in.
and then he just knew this mad place. But I was
It's
thinking,
pretty crazy. That's like your brain pure like I've been a mad sponge, just like soaking a mad thing in and just
been able to
and it's
project
just-
it.
Aye, that's crazy.
It's a mad different type of way your brain works, obviously. But I was thinking, like, I've had that before, like hundreds of times. See, when I get to go into like mad office buildings and that, I'm always like that. Like, have you ever been in an office building? You just see the corridor and it's got like 3 doors that are all like dark behind them, and it's just like so like there's pictures in the left wall, and it's just so like you've seen that like 100 times, and it makes
Aye.
you feel weird.
I think that's probably today where like, say like a big building in the town, right? You had to go and do like, I remember I had to go and do like a drug test for
Class.
getting into the railway,
Class.
and it was in a mad building. It's just like soulless, bro. Just like
Do you think that's what it
office,
is?
boom, up, sit there, boom, boom. I think it's like they probably get mad interior designers to just go do a building, know what I mean? And
Aye.
it's like they'll like picture on the left, know what
I
I
know
mean?
you
And it
mean,
just
aye,
ends
aye,
up
aye.
just looking like the same
Aye,
thing.
all the exact same
And
thing.
you're just like, oh,
Well,
I've been here.
mate, there's a thing that floats about the internet called liminal spaces, right? Have you heard of that? So, and there's like games. Have you seen that Backrooms game in that?
There's another one, Superliminal.
Aye, and it's so it's like these spaces that are exactly what you just described, but it could also be like Wayne's play bits, like nurseries and that, and it's like just looks weird.
Is it like that picture you showed us about having a stroke? No.
No, but that's fucking mad enough. Put
That's
that up
scary.
there,
No,
mate. Some cunts have a
oh.
stroke, mate. That is mental.
you know
but I
what?
can, no, mate, it kinda is.
Some
But
liminal
it's
spaces.
near enough the opposite of that, because it's like you just know all these places. Do you know what I mean? But do you know?
Right, aye.
So I was looking it up. So you've seen that before somewhere on holiday or something? Know what I mean?
Aye, I get you. It's
And
like
then-
mad spaces that everybody feels like they've been there.
Aye, all the time, hotel room corridors and that.
Aye.
But I was looking that up because I was like, I'll just bring that up because it's kind of similar to deja visite, right? But then I found out that it's a proper like term in psychology in that liminal space, and it can be to do with your mental liminal space as well.
Right.
So like, what a liminal space? The actual term liminal space in psychology refers to a place a person is in during a transitional period. It's like a gap. So it can be like a physical like doorway, or like
Somewhere you're walking for like the main place you came to, the main place you're
another
going.
place, mate.
Like the
But
bit in
like-
between.
But like mentally as well.
Aye,
so it's like
aye.
could be before you get a promotion or something.
Maybe it's because like maybe this happens because like, so say like places like hotel corridors and like office buildings, as you're saying it and that, right? It's like, see, because your mind's on the thing you're actually going there for, the waiting room and all that is like almost just getting into your subconscious a bit,
Mate,
and like
that's actually mad. Aye.
you're just soaking that in, and like, because you're not really taking note of it, but your brain is in a mad back way. Like
Mate.
you're not thinking like there's 3 chairs there, they'll put a picture there, but your brain is soaking that in,
Mate,
and it
that's
just like
so
stores
true.
it.
Because like, see, there's no a time, right? I noticed this when I was in Lanzarote, funnily enough, with Morgan, right? I noticed that. See, whenever like say she would say like, oh, you jump down and get us a drink for getting ready or something, I'd like walk down to the bar, right? See that walk when you're by yourself in a hotel from your room to where you're going, it's the most like, you don't think, it's a meditative near enough, know what I mean? You just float there.
In terms of your space, in terms of like, especially if you're on holiday or something, because like the amount of times you'll go like for the hotel room to
Aye,
the pool
back
and
up
back
and
and back and back, like your brain is soaking all this in, but no consciously, because you're not thinking like,
But
you're
also,
thinking about
I feel
I'm going
like-
back to get sun cream, like something like that, you know what I mean?
So I feel like your brain knows that as a so there's like physical liminal spaces, emotional liminal spaces, or metaphorical ones. So a metaphorical one could be like a big decision that you've got to answer, know what I mean, or like I said, like a promotion or something, and then like a divorce, or like breaking up with a girlfriend, that's like a emotional one, because it's like, you know that you're going to get to a place that will be all right, but you're back here now, and you can see this big long corridor ahead of you. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
So I think that's a pure cool way to kind of manifest that into the physical world, showing you a big fucking weird like hotel corridor, because that is actually what some things are like in your life.
Do you not feel like I don't know how to say this, but especially with AI and that, do you not feel like as humans, right, like we would look at like Neanderthals and go, they're stupid,
Fucking idiots,
right?
nah.
I feel like AI is getting to a stage where it can actually fool us.
Aye.
And we're now becoming the mad idiot ape, and like that's going to be pure
We'll do
growing
something.
and growing and growing. Like that's going to, there's no way, like we'll reach a stage we can't detect like what's real and what isn't, and
Aye,
then
like between art and
and
stuff.
it's
do you mean?
anybody's game, Jamie, you know what I mean?
Mate, I've seen like an AI making a beat, like a pure. It was like you make a drill beat for me.
Mate, they just done it. They
that.
just done it in like Tim Dillon. He on his podcast, Lee was telling me on work. I've not listened, but they typed into Google like make do a rant in the style of Tim Dillon about the war in Ukraine or something, right? It was something like that, and they actually gave it a full hang, and it was like exactly what you would imagine him to say and all that. So
that's
it's like
mad. I pure want to do something with it, like a full deep fried scripted by AI or something.
It's just what you were talking about there. Sorry, let me cut you
No,
off.
it's alright.
Do you know what the Turing test is? So the Turing test, originally called The Imitation Game by Alan Turing.
I've seen that film.
1950, is a test of a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behaviour equivalent to or indistinguishable from that of a human. That ChatGPT's passed the Turing test.
Aye, mate. Have you seen that
Silver.
film about that? It's about deciphering the Nazi code,
Aye, back
and
in
it was
the day.
like some mad. I don't know if it was Stephen Hawking
think
or
it is
something.
Stephen Hawking.
Aye, something like that. Maybe he like getting films mixed up, but like it makes this mad machine that's able to decipher a mad code, and that was called The Imitation Game. That was quite good. But anyway, Jamais vu. You want to
Right.
hear about Jamais vu?
aye, I better hear about it now.
Right, so Jamais vu. So, Evan, have you ever been? You've wrote essays in that in your time, haven't you?
One or two, aye.
Aye. So, have you ever been writing an essay, right? You're on like your fucking 6,000th word. You type out like a word like cloud or something, and then you're like, that's not right. And then you do it, and you type it with a W. You're like, no, that doesn't look right either. And you type out cloud again. You're like, that's not even a word.
Aye, I've done it hundreds of times.
And you just decide, I'm not even doing that.
Aye.
I'm like, that can't be a word, I'm not doing it. That is what Jamais vu is, bro. So it's a mental sensation called Jamais vu, which means never seen, and it describes a familiar situation which is not recognised. It's often considered to be the opposite of deja vu, and it involves a sense of eeriness. The observer does not recognise a situation despite knowing rationally that they've been there before. So it's commonly explained when a person momentarily doesn't recognise a person, a word or a place that they know. Chris Moulin of Leeds University asked 92 volunteers to write the word door 30 times in 60 seconds. He reported that 78% of his guinea pigs showed symptoms of Jamais vu, such as beginning to doubt that the word door was a real word.
Mate, I've done that so many
Mate,
times. I
it's
didn't even know that was like that would have a hang.
Mate, you could never say it. How mad is it that deja vu gets all the limelight?
Aye, I know.
Know what I mean? Why is that the pure rock star?
There's a love for Jamie Vu. man.
Aye, have you ever just been like, I mean, I actually just get Jamais vu there, looking at the word thorough?
Nah, can he be right?
Mate, all like
A U
like,
and a G.
well, not surely no. But what I found weird was it said it's like it could be a person or a place. I know. Have you ever had Jamais vu about a person or a place? Have you ever been like, I don't recognise this or that, or do you know what I mean?
About a place.
Aye.
Do you know what fucks me up? I have like dream. Well, this probably is quite explainable, but I have dreams about. So I'll have a dream, and it will be at like central low level, right? But I'll be in there and that.
nightmare, you mean?
But most of the time, and I'll be in it, but it'll have slight differences
Aye.
in what what it really is.
Aye, because
So
in dreams you're just conceptualising, oh, this is central.
Aye, but that fucks me up. But that's sort of what this reminds me, if you know what
I
I
know
mean.
what you mean. I was thinking more like, I love a good can of beer.
Glug, glug, glug.
Yeah, but I'm getting kind of bored of just like my kind of normal, just plain beers, lagers, pilsners.
Yeah.
I don't know what I can do about that. I don't know where I can go. Or
I know what you can do, son boyo. You can get on to Beer 52. Now, Beer 52 are craft beer experts.
Yep, they are.
Beer 52 are a monthly beer subscription service, and we've partnered with Beer 52 to give you a very special offer. Beer 52 are going to give you a case of 8 free craft beers.
8 free craft beers.
8.
That must be that's a lie. That's a straight up lie, bro.
I would never lie to you, Jamie.
Promise.
Promise. So 8 free beers they're going to give you when you sign up with our code. So go www.beer52.com/Reilly, Reilly, and you're going to get a free case of 8 beers. Now, these beers, as well, I was talking to Jamie about there, these aren't the beers that have been mass produced, sent all over the world, you know, uncared for, all about the money. These are people who care about the beer.
Small batch breweries.
They care about the quality of every single can. So, not only that, you're going to get beer snacks with it. You're going to get a magazine about beer as well. Bloody hell, you're going to be beer daft by the end of it, yeah? So, get on it, troops. 8 free beers. Could be a nice wee present for somebody. Also, if you want to cancel anytime your subscription, you can do it. You can pause it as well. They've got beer for everybody. So, there's no reason not to get involved, troops. Go, hit the link, and get those free beers.
See, since I've been working on like out in building sites, right, and it's like sometimes I'll need to go to a site that's a hospital that is built, but it'll be a party that's getting fucking something done to it, and I'll need to go there. And you go into weird bits of buildings now, like I do now, because it's like I need to go in there to work. But it's like for example, I was in a fucking distillery in Girvan, right, and there's a mad thing called, you know how Hendrick's gin? That's made in Girvan, right? The only like one distillery's in Girvan, and I read that it was like a mad. They had just built a £38 million palace of gin, and you seen the pictures of it, mate, and it actually looks mad, like big black grand building with like now they bikes with big wheels on the front and wee wheels in the back and that.
Penny farthing.
Or penny farthings, mate, or just cunts riding about in mad suits with weird moustaches and that. So I read that, and I was in Grant's distillery where Hendrick's is meant to be, so I was like, I'm going to find this place, because like nobody's allowed to go in either, know what I mean? So I was like, after I had finished my shift, I was like, I'm fucking got to find that place, and I had like my mad badge for getting into the Grant's one. So I like just drove up to this mad fence, and it said like Hendrick's on it, and there was a security guard there, and I just like flashed this badge, and I just pressed a button, and it pure opened like that. And I was like, off dynamite, mate. So I like drove in, just parked up, got out and walked in, and it wasn't what it looked like in the pictures. It wasn't pure amazing and all that. So I was like, oh, this is obviously like a bit out the back, or like an older building or something. And I was just walking about, and I got into this bit that was like big copper, like this big copper stills in that, like for like, you know how the things you would see in like 1920s gangster films, like down the bottom of pubs and that. And I was like, this is all mental. And I just get a mad tap, and I was like, you're not meant to be in here. And I turned around, and it was this mad lassie, and I was like, oh fuck, like caught, like I just heavy like Hendrix, and I wanted to see in here, and she was just like, I was pure shiting myself, and she was like, alright, do you want a wee tour? And I was like, aye, and she like took us up. So it was all these mad weird bits of this building that all looked like kinda like that. It gave me mad weird feelings being in like a mad distillery's fucking back rooms, know what I mean?
Aye.
Like I was in at the bit that like she like made the fucking flavours. She was like the mad scientist. She had all these beakers not sitting there, but she was like, oh, just ignore them, I'm working on a new gin, know what I mean? It was fucking mad.
Don't even think about booze getting made like that.
I know,
do you
mate, getting pure done in a mad lab.
I
and
just
all that.
imagine somebody just does like that, and it just all the booze goes into it, and then do you know what I mean? They don't even think about it.
What do you mean,
like,
just plug it into
just
something?
they just do something, and then it comes
Turn on a mad
it
tap.
just comes out, mate.
A gin tap.
A gin tap, aye.
But aye, so that's Jamie Vu. I want that to become more mainstream. So if you ever experience it, say to somebody, I just had a bit of Jamie Vu there.
I'm just trying to put it into
just slide that in. They'll go,
put it into the water supply.
Jamie Vu, man.
Jamie Vu.
But there's another one, as I said, they've all got Vus at the end of them. This one's called Presque Vu. So Presque Vu is similar to like tip of the tongue thing. That's like when you're trying to think of somebody's name, like who is that I seen, like who's that, like what's that cunt's name in that film and all that, and you writing the tip of the tongue. But the reason I wanted to talk about it, mate, is because it's a strong feeling that you're about to experience an epiphany, which I think you get when you take psychedelics.
Right,
so it's like
you're constantly on the edge. You're like, I'm just about to figure
mate,
it out.
mate, every time I take acid, right, I'm pure like that. This mad answers on the tip of my tongue. You know what I mean? Like, I'm nearly got it. I'm nearly there, mate. It's pure like unfulfilling.
That is like that. I don't know. I think when you take acid, it just, I don't know, it's just got a funny way of like tricking you into that. Just that you've got it, man.
I mate, because I was mate, I was sitting once, right, and I was like, right, this I experienced some presque vu, right? And I was like, this is something's about to happen, like it's all leading up to this mad thing, right? And I was sitting for like, it felt like obviously like 3 hours or something, but it was probably only like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, and it's coming, mate, and then I burped and then felt better. Like it was as if like I was uncomfortable because I had to burp or something, and then when it came I was like a pure relief, and I was like, oh, was that all I was waiting on, mate? And my head was tricked into
your head tricked you into thinking that was something you were having
was coming up, mate. I like something like that.
Life-changing discovery.
And what sort of burp, what like kind of like, are we talking a big burp?
We're talking one of the ones that like fill your mouth first. It's like you blow it out like that.
You need to do it twice.
Go outside like that. Fucking hell, man.
I like actual mad green.
Just stinking acid, man.
Mate, imagine you actual burp and get like green, like you done that, and it was actual green, mate.
Mad smoke.
That's what the aliens will be doing, mate.
Oh, fuck.
So, Jamie, thanks for your brain phenomenons there.
No bother, brother.
I'm sure.
Hope you enjoyed them.
I'm sure the audience enjoyed them. I'm sure if anybody watching enjoyed it. And that's just what Jamie Kelly's all about. He does just come in and just drop things like that.
Just what I provide, you know what I mean? I'm a provider. Mate, your sunglasses are huge. I've just noticed how big they are.
Extra large numbers, Jamie. Did I need to pay extra? No comment. But I'm hiding a lot, mate.
So what are we going on to now?
We are going on to, no, obviously that this video's called The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. No, this is a real thing, because when I first heard about this I was like, that's going to be like a mad, no really, but this guy actually did do this. Now this is the story of Dr. P, and Dr. P his story is in this book, which was wrote in 1985 by a guy called Oliver Sacks, who was like a head guy in like neuroscience in the world, right? He's for the UK, and he was like, it's funny as well because see, looking into this is obviously about like neurological disorders, and it was saying that people didn't even really start thinking about like neurological disorders till like the start of the 1900s, because like I was talking to Lee about this and working on, I was telling him about this, and he was like, they used to think like your inner monologue, like and your inner dialogue sort of thing.
Aye.
In your brain. Now you're like your mad running commentary on kind of what you're doing sort of thing.
Aye.
People used to think that was like God talking to them and that.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, well, I don't know what this is.
So do you actually hear that?
I don't hear it, but like you feel it.
Aye.
I think.
See, I've always heard it. It's not like conceptual for me. It's weird.
I think it's mad that there's people that don't have it at all, but
Aye, there is. There's people that don't have any like inner like.
Is it your conscience?
Who knows what it is, mate?
Or is that just a one wee part?
Think about this. How can you hear it if you're not hearing it?
Aye.
Like what's happening
because
there?
Sound is actual like waves that are hitting the air, hitting your eardrum at a certain thing and that. So it's weird, but I do actually hear it.
Whose voice is it? Is it yours?
No, it's an old Algerian woman.
Is it? Aye.
Aye.
Is it in French?
No, Algerian. Do they speak French in Algeria? I don't know either language, so it's that.
Have you got any idea what she's saying to you?
No, really.
This actually explains a lot, Jamie.
She's singing now. She's singing.
Mate.
She's singing La Vie en Rosa.
Oh.
It's an actual tune, mate. Do you know I listen to French music all the time? Mad French lounge singers, mad women, they're so good.
Mad old woman.
Honestly, aye.
Ones that be in like a rooftop bar singing and
Aye,
that.
mate,
and
aye.
they really listen.
Just
But
everybody's looking away like with a glass of wine like that.
Everybody would know it's like she's got a bit of class, that old gal. That old gal there.
Bitch.
Oh, bro. But we're going to talk about Dr. P now. This case was in this book also called the man who mistook his wife for a hat.
His hat for a wife.
It's
a different story.
I'm turning into him, mate,
That's
honestly.
sexual abuse.
So this was a case of this guy. So this guy was like, this was in maybe like the 60s, 50s, 60s. These studies were done, and it's about this guy called Dr. P. And obviously we don't have his name for like anonymity for between the like confidentiality, because it's an actual case that he took on. But this guy, Dr. P, he was a music teacher, right? He was a singer, but he retired and then he was a music teacher. And in his like classes and that, he would obviously teach him music. So like students would come up and perform, maybe like on their instrument or sing or blah blah blah. But he would always kind of get them mixed up. Like if they would walk up and talk to him, that he knew their voice, right? So he would know that that's who it was. But then, like, see if they were all just standing in a line, no saying anything, it would be like, Johnny, and it'd be like a lassie, right?
That's mad.
But even worse, right? He would like be in the street, hinting like, say like bollards and that. He'd be like, Johnny, how you doing, son, and all that. Like he would think, he had no perception. He had a thing called visual agnosia, right? Which means like it's a perception problem. So he couldn't tell the difference between like a face and a light, because each has its details and with
That's
the
insane,
outline, right? So,
is that like a mad? He must be heavy in a weird way, clever.
mate, so he's like, this is the thing as well. It's like when he went to the doctors about it, obviously, because his wife was like, this isn't normal. And at the time, he's like, oh, he didn't think anything was wrong with him, because I heard a thing the day as well. It's like, see, I can't remember if it's the left and right, but it's like one side of your brain, if your disorder's in the right side, you can tell there's something up with you. But if it's in the left side, you'll never be able to tell anything's up with you, just by the way the side of the brain work or something.
Left's like creativity, I think,
so
and right's like rationale. So that's probably
I might be getting them mixed up or whatever, but it's something like that. So he didn't have a clue anything was actually even wrong with him, even though he couldn't distinguish. Like he would think like that a table leg was like an actual
just
person,
a heavy,
and that.
skinny wee guy.
Aye. So the problem that he had was like, it's weird because there's nothing wrong with his eyes, right? There's nothing wrong with his eyes at all. So he went to the doctors, and the doctor would be like that, right? The reason he went to the doctors actually is because he thought he had diabetes, because he was like, oh, his wife was obviously on it. I'm going, this isn't right. Like you're walking up to fucking
you keep
lamppost.
kissing that fucking shoe rack.
Aye, saying it's me. And like, so he went and the doctor done tests, and they would show him like a picture of a person, and he would be like, who's that? And it would be like somebody in his family, say, right? So he would show him like a picture of his brother, and he'd be like, aye, that's my brother, that's like, I know him, like I'll never forget his big square jaw and his big beard or something it was, right? And he was like, right, sound. So, but then he would show him like, he brought in like a rose, right? And he gave him a rose, and he was like that, like, what do you think that is? And he's like, it's about 6 inches long, like green stem, it's red, and it's got so he could see everything perfectly, right?
In detail.
But there's a part of your brain, right, which this part gets downloads information it sees, right? So that would look at this laptop and be like, I'm getting these signals from my eyes, like this is this size, this colour, this shape, this is what all the visual stuff. But then the right side is like, it's like, think of like pieces in a jigsaw, right? And then the right side puts all the pieces together and tells you what you're seeing.
Aye, process.
His problem wasn't with the left side, it was like with the right side that was figuring it out. So he could see you perfectly, but he just couldn't like piece together
so
what that is.
So what I'm wondering, right? Because what obviously you see when you say this to somebody, that a guy sees a lamppost and starts like shooting its horn and that, you think that he's looking at like this object, like he's looking at this can and going, and it's that wee guy, it's like what's happening now?
Aye, because we can't even fathom like what that feels like, and it's like what
is his you're saying his vision's alright, but obviously your eyes are just receptors to
Exactly,
go to your brain.
exactly.
So what is his brain making out this image to be, or any image? Do you know what I mean? Like, I wonder what he sees. I wish he could like draw or something.
Aye.
So he could like just paint a wee picture for us.
I know, it's crazy. It's like it comes into another thing we're going to talk about, which is like face blindness. So it's like, and Brad Pitt's got it, it's like they just look at people's faces, and because like And I've actually had this, I think, in gaffs. I'm not even kidding on. Like at times, like see when it gets to like 7, 8 in the morning, and you're like looking about at people, you start see if you like look at somebody's face for too long, especially if you're on it, you go, I know that's their eyes and I know that's their nose and I know like that's their face, but it just doesn't look like them.
Aye,
I feel like that's sort of what it's like.
Aye, that makes it a wee bit more understandable if you think about being pure fuck.
Aye, because you can see everything clearly, but at the same time, you can't actually piece together the puzzle like what that is you're seeing.
Mate, do you know what I used to get a thing that's, I don't even know if it's similar, right? But see, whenever I was sitting in a classroom or like a lecture hall in uni or something, or even, it's never happened with you, but like see sitting somewhere like this, like if I'm in a meeting or something, see if I go pure like, no tired, but that way that I'm just hardly focusing, my head somewhere else and I'm just looking at somebody, they would start getting heavy big.
Aye.
Have you ever had that?
No
like,
big, but
like a teacher, like at the front of a class, and I'd just be sitting looking, and then it would just like,
I think
everything
that's like
else would blur out, and it would just get bigger, and I'd be like, "Oh man!" It would something weird would happen in my head. It would just
like
get
a
pure
mad,
huge,
like illusion in your head, like because like
my
like
perception.
going into a toilet full of like mushies or something, like it just starts like stretching
bending
and
out
that. Aye.
But it's not the way that I would
No,
go.
it's like,
my
aye.
lecture's getting big like the Hulk or something, and I'm like looking up like that. Just
Aye,
that
it's the
your
your
actual
focus. It's more
perception.
your focus in it.
Aye,
but it's
all
like
like-
I'm at tunnel vision sort of.
Aye, that is what it's like. Aye, but that just kind of reminded me of that.
Maybe it's because you're looking for one way for so long, your brain goes right, like it's getting mad receptors to the eyes that are like you, like we don't need to take in the information for the sides anymore because you've been focused
Aye,
on the front
like,
so much.
like if you're like watching a film and it's just like the telly's all you see because you're focusing on it that much. It probably is just that, but it used to scare me a bit.
Aye.
Used to snap out at that.
Well, you could be Dr. P, mate.
Aye.
So
Tell me more
obviously,
about Dr.
so
P.
aye, so Dr. P, he's gone for these sessions, and the guy's like, he's got some form of agnosia. Like he's got something like there's defo something's not right here because it would be like the very first one he went to as well. He was like that. Can you show me where your shoe is? And he's like looking about, and his shoe is like right next to him, right? Like just kind of out of like reaching distance. And he's like looking about, and he says like he was looking at things, and he was like, it was as if he's like looking at the outline and downloading the information and going, instead of just recognising it, he's like, if this is this and this is this, then what is this? Rather than just looking at it and going, there's Jamie, there's a laptop. It's like he needs to go, oh, it's this size, it's this long. Like he says he would look at everything and like he would never look at something as a whole thing. He would look at every component of it and
Mate,
break it down.
That's what, speaking of, we're going for full circle, that's what the main cunt in Prison Break's got. That's how he was able to study plans and tattoo. I'm not going to give it away as if it's a new thing. But like,
Spoiler alert!
Tattooed everything on himself, and it was like, it said when his doctor spoke to somebody in the programme, it said like he's got a special mind. Like when he sees a camera, he doesn't see a camera, he sees like a battery, an output of this, a blah blah blah, and he took apart the full thing.
You're just seeing components.
Aye, and there was some parts in that where he's like looking at something, you can see him pure like sweating and freaking out, and he's blinking weird and all that because he's pure like processing so much shit at one time. Know what I mean? So that is probably what he's got in that.
Aye.
So I understand it completely.
It's crazy, but as well, like he said so I saw about the shoe thing. He was like looking about, and he eventually like he's like my shoe, right? And like he's looking about, and he just points to his foot, but he didn't have his shoe on. He's like, this is my shoe here, because he's like, he knows that that's where it normally is. He's like, I'm just guessing the best answer here, but because he's always had to do that, he's just got by doing that, so that's the way his brain is normally functioning.
That's
so he's
not
like
even a human life, bro.
He's like, he's fully, I know it's crazy, mate. And then like he showed him a glove, and he's like he could describe it, like he could go, it looks like, he was saying like, it looks like a container, it would hold something in that, but he couldn't say it was a glove. And then he says he put it on him, and he's like, oh, it's a glove, like because he touched it and that. Like, but also with the rose as well, he said he was describing the rose, and he's like, it's got linear, it's really nice, it looks like something nice, and he could describe
got
and
a
feel
feeling
it,
for it,
everything.
aye.
And then he said like, right, I'm going to put it up to your nose and smell it, and as soon as he smelled it, he's like, oh, a rose.
Aye,
so it's
that's
like a
fucking
mad
mad.
bit. He has sense of like taking in visual information of the world is just like fun. Do you know what I mean? It's like a conveyor belt, and it's just like fun before
Aye.
it gets to like where it needs to get to, so you can go, that's that as well, mate. Like that obviously the bit about he was going to all these sessions, right? And then at the end of one, like sort of wrap him up, and he's like, right, same time next week, fucking Dr. P. And he's like, right, and he bother, he turns around, he's looking for his hat, because it's like back in the day, you know what I mean?
Well,
Bye, man.
you gotta get my trilby.
So he's like, oh, wait till I get my hat. And he turns round and he's obviously his wife standing there. And he like just like sort of reaches for her head and just tries to like pull the mustache. I don't know if he thought the hair was the hat
or it was on a hat stand.
Aye. And he reached it and grabbed it, and then like he said that obviously this doctor guy's like, what the fuck? Like still, even though he's a doctor, so he's like expecting the wife to be like, what the fuck?
Right.
And he says his wife barely even flinched. She's just like, I'm just used to this.
To
like,
me, I want to see like kid on. I'm your hat.
am I being Dr. P?
You're being you're being. So I'm just the wife. Like,
Right.
come in, right? We're going up the road.
Oh right, great. Another session in the bag. 2023, smashing all my goals. Right, better get my hat though.
Got the keys here. Just need to get going. Need to go. Oh. No, it's me, hen.
Oh,
It's me, dear.
done it again. Dr. P at it again.
Mate, he could get away with some stuff, by the way.
Mate, do you know what
he could get away with some crimes.
Oh.
He could get in there and pick up, put all the money in this bag, and he's like, oh, photos my missus.
Oh, I've got that visual agnosia. I've got a shit line there. But mate, see as well. But what's really interesting about it is as well is not only this. Obviously, he's gone to these sessions and they're like, I can't even figure out what's wrong with you. And if you get this, it's no curable. They had classes that you can go to learn how to like get mad coping strategies. So like when you see this, ask this question, and then it will give you the information you
It's
need
weird,
quicker.
mate. It's like near enough being blind in it.
You're blind, but like mentally blind and no visually blind.
That's mad, bro.
But see, the thing is, women, how crazy is this? He was a music teacher, right? So he always sang and all that, right? He would always sing like anything he done. Now like walking about just like fucking making breakfast, singing and doing ironing, singing like. And she said like his wife would say that he was fine when he was singing, so he would be in it because he was in a mad zone. He was like, I could remember things and he'd be like, that's that. And then as soon as like say somebody like chapped the door or like somebody shouted or something disrupt that singing, as soon as that would stop, he would like, that's when he would be like,
everything would just collapse around
like
him.
his brain just melted.
Mate, that's a bit like what was the wee cunt that won Popeye though, and he had like a fucking had a stutter, Will Gates or something. Bill Gates. Bill Gates, bro. So he had a stutter, and then when he sang, it went away.
That was all fake.
It was
bro.
Holcomb, wasn't it? I think so.
Gareth
I think it's a
Gates,
lot of
aye.
shite, but
Mate, Gareth Gates had a genuine stutter, bro.
Aye,
He went
full
in
on,
and
mate.
he battled it and he got over it, and
Aye.
now he's, don't know.
where is he now?
I always
Dead or
wonder,
something?
like, imagine how insane, like, mentally, right? Before we've got more blindness to go into, but imagine, like, for example, say you're like Leon Jackson, right? You know who that is?
Aye.
Scottish guy won the X Factor thing.
Aye.
Mate, you are like, because like, think about like what we do, right? Mm-hmm. And then think about winning the X Factor at that point in time. You'd actually be like, oh my god, mate,
I'm
I've
the
actually
boss.
done it. You know what I mean? And then like 2 years later, you're working like next again.
Nobody's
How
high.
does that?
Mate, but see, the thing is, that's like the pure high level like of the shows. Like the X Factor's like a pure big thing, so they probably do get like fucking mad sing at birthdays and all that or whatever after that. But there was a thing called like what was the thing that was like, oh, tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be
Stars in your eyes.
Stars in your eyes, mate.
Aye, dude,
And
good shout, bro.
that cunt would always
waiting for that
One day.
One day they're going to mention it.
one. One day that's
Is that, is
Stars in your eyes.
that
that'll
your
be it.
mad, your like quiz questions, mate? Stars,
one of
everything
my
about
go-tos.
it.
Last time, Stars in your eyes from 1997 to 2003.
I could
That
tell
could be
anything from
accurate.
the series.
That could be accurate.
But that fucking cunt used to always say like, he used
fucking
no, I seen a video where it was like he would say like, oh, I don't think you're going back to the supermarket now, and then it would like the woman would be after the woman or something had sang fucking Tina Turner or something, and then it was like it cut to like what they are doing. And it's just it's all heavy bad shit, or like no bad shit, but just mad normal life. So like they're in the jail and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like
Ready and he'll be in the jail, bro.
Mate,
Imagine, do you know what I'm talking about?
Ridian.
Mate, where's your big Redding? Mate, I would see, to be honest, Redding, I think he wasn't an actual weirdo, but at the same time he looked insane at the time, bro. I just remember Oh,
You get a mad memory for
Ready,
telly about that
Ready
time.
sounds like a mad night. Ready and round into matter.
It sounds like a type of metal, I think.
Bro, that is an insane looking guy, I bet. Innit?
Oh, aye. Mate, he looks like a mad... looks like a cartoon villain, man.
His face does not suit his
No.
He's not big enough.
Crazy, it's a crazy colour of hair in that, mate. White platinum
I
blonde.
like it, but bro.
Platinum
I
blonde.
like it, but bro. But you
Mate,
tell me
I've
about mere blindness, bro.
Mate, I've got one more blindness thing to talk about, and then we'll wrap up on the mental blindness. Now, this one is crazy to me, mate. This is maybe even crazier. No, Mr. P. I think he's a rapper or something.
Mr. P.
Mr. P. Mate, that's the Dr. P end up name, bro. Mate, you can do it with no California love, bro. Go on YouTube, see him in the back.
Dr. P, brother.
Mate, Dr. P. He's
Got a tie
got
on
an AK on the back of the quad, bro. Dr. P. Didn't have a clue what he was holding on that. I got the shops.
Who's his daughter?
Sorry, Dr. P, if you're listening, definitely dead, but so checked it.
We kick him when he's done.
Definitely dead or not. Can on, sorry, but aye, this one's insane, mate. This one's called. Let me try and read this. Why am I saying that like it's pure Japanese or something? Akinetopsia.
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 Let me see it.
What it is motion blindness. Now, this is I'll read out the actual definition, a high visual processing disorder which comes from an extra striate lesion in which a patient has difficulty specifically perceiving objects in motion with variable severity and rarely complete. So you basically, when something's moving, you see it like still pictures. You don't see somebody moving.
Oh, that's mad.
Like a strobe light going off in like a club or something the way you're just seeing snap. Like so you can never perceive. You can see everything perfect, but you can't perceive the way that your brain
smooth motion.
now, like you're like when you move, my brain goes, he's moving this speed, he went there to there, so this means like it looks like this when he moves, and it does that like that.
It's like frames per second, isn't it?
Aye, yeah, just
What is
absolutely
human frame per second?
Yeah, I think 24 is the closest to human eyes.
Is it? Aye. See, that's slow, man.
That's a great fact.
That's why films are made in 24,
I mean,
because it's the closest to what you actually see.
Aye.
Wow,
See,
that's
I
interesting.
don't play a game if it's no 60F, know what I mean?
Don't touch it. When I touch it, my PSN, bro.
I'm just gonna shut my eyes, bro.
Wouldn't
24.
Wouldn't even open it on my PlayStation store, bro.
But that is insane, bro.
Motion
So,
blindness.
do you know what this kind of reminds me of? Have you ever noticed your eyes can't track across a room smoothly? Evan? So like,
You can do it like that.
see, so I can watch my finger and it goes smooth like that. Know what I mean? But see if like I want to just go a smooth motion like a camera like that across here, look, it just needs to lock onto things.
Aye, like you need to
Like
go
my
for
actual-
thing you can't just. You're
My
right. I've
actual
never
eyeball
thought
goes
about
like that. Like I just noticed it the other day when I was driving.
No, it's something weird as well, right? And
Do you know why that is?
No.
It's an evolution thing for like hunting.
Is it?
So you're supposed to be able to track things that are moving, but you only see things that you like, need to see.
Oh, that's
There's nothing
weird.
about it.
That's quite cool. So
That
when
is
we're
cool.
out hunting rabbits in the furrow and that,
everything goes back to the fucking jungle, baby.
it does, mate.
Everything does. What's weird as well, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in the podcast. Do you ever think about, like, now you just swallow saliva, but you'd never dare, like, you never go, right, now I'm going to swallow my saliva. and go,
Aye.
I just did that.
Mind tricks, bro. So now, like, you never consciously do that. See, when you start consciously thinking about doing it, like, it's harder to do.
Aye, I felt that, mate.
Because it's like, it's so weird. And then I've actually fucked my head that much sometimes where that I'm actually pure and I can't get it done, mate.
Aye.
I'm like, and I forget the process. I forget the process of like swallowing
Aye,
it, mate.
mate.
It's insane.
Mate, do you know, I was watching something and I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, mate, right? And somebody in it was panicking and then they were going,
What a loser.
How do you breathe again? It's Terry Crews. He's like, how do you breathe again? How do you breathe again? He goes, is it 2 in, 1 out? And I've always found that terribly funny because like
Yeah,
we're getting
crazy.
out of breathing, having to do that. But mate, do you know what you reminded me of there when you were talking about Sleburn? See,
Wasn't he talking about Sleburn? It's just saliva.
Sleburn, but
Sleburn's just like
Did you say slebber with a B?
Sleburn, not Slevering like a fucking like Malfoy or something.
Slevering.
No, but that's like a slaver. Your spit is like a
I say
slaver.
Sleber.
I say Sleber.
That's
So it's
wild.
comment Sleber or Sleber, tell us.
Aye,
But
but
look,
you
Jamie
also
boy.
say brar for brother.
I don't say bra, I'm not.
You say things like that, mate. Don't lie to me.
You say my good fella and all that.
Jamie, what the flip is in the daily pube the day, mate?
Oh, there's a few things, mate. It's mainly just guys shaving their pubes, but it's a good read.
Aye. Is there anything else apart from maybe that? No, is it just pubes?
Just guys shaving their pubes. There's a woman shaving her pubes.
Aye. Women have pubes? That's
that-
disgusting.
That's my dad.
Your
Yeah,
dad
two
shaving his pubes?
I need to phone him, mate. 2 seconds. You can get on with this. But.
Right, okay. Troops. We'll leave him to that. But, you know, the podcast is sponsored by Manscaped. Now, it's Valentine's Day coming up. If you're not going to get lucky on Valentine's Day, you're never going to get lucky, right? So we need to be prepared. And the only way to do that is ordering the Performance Pack from Manscaped. Now, they've got the Lawnmower 4.0 that's going to do the main curtain, yeah? Round the balls and stuff. We've also got the ball toner, the ball deodorant, the weed whacker for your ears and nose. We need to keep them tidy, guys. So, you know, I'm sure you've heard of Manscaped. We got sent Manscaped and we thought, whoa. Because before I was like, I don't know if that'll be worth it. I don't know if it's quite a lot for your balls. I would pay double. My balls have never felt better. And I'm sure my loved ones, my mother, my father, my grandmother, they're all just loving my balls at the moment, guys. So, to get 20% off and free shipping, use the code Reilly's Gaff at checkout at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free worldwide shipping. So, if you're listening to this in Botswana and you've got some hairy balls on you, get in touch because you're going to have some free shipping for you, baby. So it's Valentine's Day. Get that 20% off. Manscaped.com. Use code Reilly's Gaff. Cheers.
But, mate, see, once, what I was saying, what you reminded me there with the slebbing, once in my work, mate, I was thinking about, like, how much slebber you can get. So I had just done that. I was stoning at the bin, right? And I was like that. And I just started letting slebber come out my mouth, and I done it for about 5 seconds and it went continuously, and then I stopped because I was like, what the fuck am I doing, mate?
Imagine anybody just watching you saying,
Jamie, that is honestly one of the dumbest things I've ever heard you
mate,
say.
I
swear, bro.
that had just unlocked that, mate. I think I was about 18 or something, and I was like, I wonder if this will just keep going. So I just said that.
That is
and it was just
absolutely...
coming out, mate, a big
I wish somebody like walked in and just seen
Aye,
that. She'll be like, oh no, turn back.
scoop it
Aye,
up.
I would just quit the job, mate. I would go.
You know, I used to always try and remember in the movie Big Daddy with the tomato sauce. No? I remember we used to like do that in primary school, see who could do it the longest. No?
Spitting it out for aye. Because when you
the
get
tomato
the,
sauce lines it.
because see when it hits the gravity, it starts to go and you could lose it.
You need a bit of weight in it.
You
mate.
could lose it though if you get too much weight. So it's a fine line.
The saliva sling they call it, mate. But look, James, we better go on to the Patreon irrational fears. We wanted to know what scares you that just kind of doesn't really
Shouldn't
make sense. Aye. But before we go into them, I want to ask you if you get any, James.
Mate, the only, like, I don't know if you would call the fear of the sea irrational,
I think
because
drown,
I'm never
but-
going to be there. Last
No.
time Glasgow.
but you never know, mate. You could be in a plane crash,
Aye, but I'm not scared of that.
but you'll be
I'm
scared
just
when you're in
scared
the,
of,
in the
like,
ocean. But
aye, that's
when
true.
it crashes into the ocean, they're like,
So
right,
you-
everybody jump out, and you're like, I don't like the ocean.
Aye.
You're like, you kidding on, get fucking it. Like, I'll just stay here. I'll just see what happens. I've just got a chance, it might get up again, never know.
Mate, just start walking, mate, try to fix engine and that.
Mate, just got a job down here, so I don't know. Talk a fish.
Aye, but mate, so that
Is that it?
I really it is. I was trying to think of some.
Mate, I don't know if is this irrational, right? I have this fear. I've had this fear for about, I would say maybe 5 years, and it's not a constant thing. But sometimes I'll just be like, oof, like when I think about it, I have this feeling that I'm just living with a disease, mate, and I don't know about it.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like,
Aye, I'd get
do
you.
you ever get that? Like, you're like, what if I'm just living with something new, and I'm like, I don't know about it.
I get you, mate.
There's no symptoms of that. Know what I mean?
I get you, and I also think I've always thought that sometimes you could just be living with something that's heavy wrong with you, like say like your kidney or something's heavy sore, but just because it's always been sore,
And
you
you're
just
like,
you're
oh,
just,
is everybody's kidney no killing them?
you're
no?
just used to it. Aye. But is that that's not irrational
No,
either,
but
mate,
I've got another one, right, which I heard on another podcast, and I was like, I've actually had that, but I feel like it's went away. Feary, like, see your Achilles being like slit.
Aye, because it's such a...
I heard it on a podcast called Bro Hio, right? Which is quite funny, by the way. It's a good podcast if you want to go and check it out, yeah. But they said like they had somebody, they heard somebody, they had to just sit cross-legged and cover their Achilles up so they were never exposed, so there was like no chance.
They a mad Roman
but
warrior.
I feel like that pure like unlocked a thing in me that I was like, I feel like I'd done that weirdly or something. I don't know why.
Do you know what it is, mate? It's like the most exposed part of your like innards. Like I get that because like see like the bits there, your metatarsals or whatever, metacarpals and that.
Don't talk to me about the wrists and that, bro.
Do you know, mate? Look at that, 2 big scars on the wrist. Do you see that? Can you see that? Had to have wrist operations, multiple, and it's fucking that. But I was scared of that thing getting sliced.
Holding the
I mean?
Glock.
Yeah, that's what it is, mate. The kickback, the kickback on the 918, bro.
Oh, bro, don't talk to me about that, bro.
But outside of that, mate, no irrational feels. I've got irrational like things. I'm like preferences. Like I'm very particular about like cutlery and shit. Like see in my house, I've got the cutlery that I like, and I'll always use that. Know what I mean? Like just certain things.
Like what if you went to somebody's house and had pure like your like
pure shitey cutlery? That annoys me.
Does that?
And cups and that. You've got good cups in your house, mate. Really good cups. Never been to yours. I don't know. I don't think you'll have good cups, but
In my house, there's a total of 2 cups.
2 cups, mate. How do you just get by? What, cups or glasses?
No, cups.
So how many glasses? I'm talking about glasses, kinda.
Probably between 5 and 10.
Aye,
That's alright.
2 cups is good, but because it's like
we don't drink hot beverages.
have you never had a coffee? Then?
I've had it, I just don't on the regular.
It's weird, mate. Straight cup
Tea?
of
I'm
tea.
a Red Bull guy.
What
Red
about
Bull
tea
first
and that?
thing in the
What if you just want like a wee
Vodka Red Bull.
Like 7 in the morning straight.
Mate, I remember we used to drink that at 18s because like somebody told us it's like, yeah, it's like fucking, don't know if you're right, if you want to like feel cocaine and that, you drink vodka Red Bull, it's exactly like it.
True.
And they were right, bro. I was fucking charged at my dick, man. But
Mate,
like, we better get onto the patrons now. We've got some weird ones in
Mate,
here.
some of these I agree with though.
So, some I get, some I'm like, what are you talking about? But let's go through them all. So the first one, Andrew Roberts. We were literally just talking about this. Wrists, I hate the look of them. Mostly the veiny bits. Can't touch my own. Can't handle the thought of other folk touching my wrist without spewing. That, I like, see something pressing in your wrist,
Aye,
bro.
it's a pure...
It'll fucking kill you.
Oh, mate, that bit, I know you're talking about slicing. See, like, that bit in
slicing
there.
and dicing
the mad
anything.
tendony bit in there. That's a horrible
That's
feeling, innit?
barking, innit?
Aye, mate, so I get that, Andrew. I do
Slicey.
understand that, but I've had 2 wrist operations.
Oh.
So, overcame that.
Wait, actually, what you're talking to me is a 2 wrist operations. Imagine like I was getting wide in a bar and you're like, I've had 2 wrist operations.
No, I imagine it was like, I'm a mad gimpy cunt going to have a fight or something. I'll have you know, I've had 2 wrist operations.
And I'm not scared to get the 3rd one. And I'll go to the fucking hospital tomorrow. Like that. Right, so thank you, Andrew Roberts. I totally get that.
Understandable.
Crooksy says ostriches or any large bird. Everyone is always like, why the fuck are you scared of them? Only guy I've ever heard hate them as well as Evan. Fucking evil bastards.
Mate.
I stand with it.
Well, I'm going to throw one to you.
Big bitch birds.
Penguin?
No big enough.
No?
It needs to be off brown mad feathers and all
It's
that.
like they're jaggy and all that, isn't
Aye,
it?
pure, like they look like they fucking just came out of a mad barn or something.
Mate,
Bro.
do you know what I seen? I was watching a film and it showed you a bit that an ostrich was like chasing some cunt, and the camera went to like the ostrich's view, and its view was all fucked because obviously birds
POV,
see
you're
and
an
like
ostrich.
and it was like running and like the cameras feel shaking, and now like obviously ostriches and all birds have different eyes that pure take in different things. It was like hexagonical. It was all like that, mate. It was all purple and all that. I was like, fuck, that is a scary thing, man. Imagine that thing looking at you. No empathy, as you always say, bro.
The eyes don't lie. Troops, listen up. Craig Duncan. By the way, thanks, Crooksy. Craig Duncan, pickled onions not to be trusted.
Oh,
I love a pickled onion.
I
bro.
don't mind a pickled onion, but what about the big ones there a bit?
Mate, Erin said something very almost philosophical in a sort of chippy way the other day. We got a merchant chippy, yeah.
Oh, merchant
Don't
chippy.
mean to name drop, yeah. We got the
Yep.
merchant chippy. We wouldn't go any lower than that, yeah. Fresh out the fucking water, baby, yeah. But we got a merchant chippy, and I used to get them where she'd be like, "Do you want a pickle?" I'd be like, "No." She's like, "Do you want a pickle?" I'd be like, "No," and then she'd get it, and I'd be like, sort of like, I mean, I don't know like pickles, but I'd always just be like, "Oh, it's a pickle, pickle's a pickle," but.
I'm going to grate a pickle.
Aye, pure, don't get me one. I'm like, oh, if it's there, I'll take it.
You're
We're going to
awful,
pure
bud.
for there, a pickle.
If it's handed to you, you know what I mean?
If you've got one, I'll take a bite of it. You know what I mean? But she used to be like, oh, you want one? Then she was like, you need to eat the pickle because the pickle gives you the taste of vinegar in your mouth for the full thing.
Oh.
I was like,
palate cleanser, bro.
and it's like a mad like base layer for your chippy, you know what I mean? I was like
that's
you're
like
right,
something,
man.
That's like something like 6 by Nico would have or something.
Aye.
Like a thing to make your palate ready for the meal.
I seen a thing the other day in a mad fine dining restaurant, and it was like a lassie had to hold her hands out and they poured chocolate at it, and then she had to like lick her fingers. They were like, imagine paying all that money to get somebody to like eat chocolate out of your hands. It's like Balenciaga's have your
plates or
thing.
something.
Crazy. But aye, pickled onions.
Do you eat pickled onions like do you bite? You said something about a bite. Do you bite them? Do you just bite into it?
How else are you, matey?
I like kind of peel off layers.
That's creepy, bro.
Is it? Aye.
Do you do that?
Aye, mate. 100%.
What, like peel it like a fucking tangerine or
Let's sit
something?
about that and just peel off a layer, and that's a full layer. And then it gets
seedy, mate.
smaller every time.
That's seedy as fuck.
Every single layer it gets smaller.
Small, that's no more.
But I don't usually have. I always have to see the wee ones, and I have them with like cheese and that on wee sticks.
What
and
if you're
that.
getting a chippy, but no bother?
No, I would never get one for that.
No?
No.
Big fucking gold
Big,
star.
big daft thing that
Mate,
size you need to bite like an apple and that. No.
Mate, if the pickle's smaller than my balls, don't talk to me. I want a big fucking giant jawbreaker.
You make pure munching into
I want to keep some for the morning.
It's a literal onion. You're just biting into it.
But pickled onions. I mean, I kind of get why you would be a bit
I really
scared
don't
of
like the crisps either.
pickled onion
Cunts
crisps.
are obsessed with
I like
Morgan.
pickled onion
Morgan pure
walkers.
loves prickled onion walkers.
Prickled
man.
onion walkers.
Prickled onion.
Don't you
That's
try slander the name,
That's
man.
what you call them. Fucking prickled onion. Prickled onion, man. Prickled onion. Mate, that was another one of the see the mental phenomena. There was another one that was it had a mad and wild name, and it was about like hinting of something you should have said in an argument after the argument. That's like that, yeah. Well, I just told her it was a prickled onion.
Keeps getting more of it. Next time I'm going to say it.
Oh, right.
Aye, but
Pickled
understandable.
onions. Keir McDermott says cheese. I love a
Fuck
bit of
off,
cheese.
Keir, man.
Fuck off, Keir.
Come on. Cheese just makes everything better, man.
I can't even. But I mean, cheese is a mad, like, see if you say, I mean, some things, cheese is like, the food cheese, aye, lovely, yeah. See when somebody's like something that's purely cheesy or something, like a pair of soaks or something, then I'm
or
no,
like
your soaks are cheesy, you wouldn't take that.
or like you're acting pure cheesy.
Oh.
Imagine you're like that to your bird, like, I love you. Pure cheesy.
Let's be honest, cheesy
Why is
shit.
it? Why is that called that? It's weird, isn't it? Why is that called cheesy, mate?
Why is it called Who the fuck is setting these rules? Now I need to look at it.
But I do think cheese makes everything better, man. I seen something the other day while I was looking that up, Jamie. Seen something the other day. See the rind of what's the cheese that you shave again? Parmesan.
Right.
The rind of that. See if you cut that off. Now it's got that mad edge on top of it, of the block.
I've never had
Right.
Parmesan as a block.
So you have
but I
it.
believe
You grate it down. It's like the end of it. It's like the heel.
Right.
Like the heel of a bit of bread or something. See if you cut that up and put it in the microwave, it turns into cheese puffs. They go,
Actually,
aye, and they might be pure banging.
I kind of want to try it.
I don't know if it's a lot of shite right enough.
Here it says
You know, test it.
cheesy, meaning cheap, inferior. That'll be it, eh?
Not cheap and inferior. That's like a pair of cheesy traders. Fakers.
Oh, this is like in my old English language use, like naff things, cheesy. Oh fuck, I'm not even looking at this.
No.
Honestly. But anyway, we better move on to the next one. I have no idea why it'd be called cheesy, to be honest. Maybe because it's like I don't.
But
know
it
why
shows
it's
the
got there.
versatility of the word cheese, so that one's I don't agree. I don't agree with that
Aye,
one.
we're not having cheese, but fair enough if you're scared of cheese, man. George Frame says long fingernails give me the fear.
Aye.
Aye.
I don't like it. Shows your fingernails. You've got quite long fingernails. No pure like ridiculous. As he talked about like the Guinness World Book of Records, they go curl later.
Aye, I think so.
Mad quaver nails.
Oh.
No, always have them painted.
eating, aye. If it pure it's rising above your finger. and that.
Aye, no, it like goes and then it curls back round and all
Oh
that.
my God,
You ever seen
bro.
them? Not on top of it. How do they even get through life? The people that have got. How did they like wipe their arse and that?
I don't know.
Stick. Stick with toilet paper, man.
A stick. Use a stick. But aye, mate, I don't. I'm not into the long fingernails. Mine's up, but I'm also not into mine's, man. Mine's are pure grubby, like pure wee and fucked.
You'll be a biter,
Aye, a biter.
Aye, mate. If I could predict one thing about Jamie Kelly, it would be that he's a nail biter.
See, if somebody says to you, like, put a gun to your head, tell me one person that bites their nails.
Oh, mate, you would be the first person.
I think I'd be the
this
first.
This is the banker. That's the one that could not fail.
Could never lose.
That would be it. That would be it, mate.
I feel like I'd be your answer for a lot of the questions.
Aye.
If it was like
Aye, I would say so.
cunt saying weird shit.
Mate, the next one, I actually understand this. Callum Hunter says he's petrified of false teeth. And he said even the wind up toy ones.
I've got one of them
Oh,
in the house, mate. I meant to bring that here. That would have been good. But I bought one in for Tam Shepherd's once. Just got seen it and I was like, I like the wee things. I think they're good. No, like them, no.
you think they're good?
Aye, I don't know. They wee like wind up toys. I don't know. They're good. Just fucking walk along.
Mate, they were made for like kids in like the 20s. Just sit. That's like sticking the iPad in front of them. Stick them with false teeth in front of them. It's like,
What did it even mean? Like, why are they a toy? But mate, there was a guy. I've told you about him before. Banger. That used to work with on a site. I think I've told you about him, and he used to go, "Oh, it's fucking bro." He
When he talk, he would just say like mad noises. Like,
I'll tell you about fucking Jerry, need to tell him. So he had false teeth, and he used to whenever you drove past him or came in the morning, like it was happening, he used to go and like pop them out. Know what I mean? To the front, like he would obviously just dislodge them somehow and go like that, and that they always kind of made me feel a bit uneasy. So understand that the real ones, and in films where they take them out and put them in a mad glass of water and that's always a bit barking, isn't it?
Oh, bro, I kind of get this, to be honest. I actually fully get that, Callum.
Can I just say how mad it is that you were going to bring a set in with you?
I was going to bring a set in.
I meant to do that,
I didn't
man.
even question that. Mate, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't even question these things with James. Right, so the next one is for a legend of the show, Gary Buckets, the legend.
Pew, pew, pew.
Reilly's Gaff Hall of Famer. And he says, to be honest, I'm not sure how much an irrational feel this is, but it's like a good wee story. Was scared of a junkie that stayed near me when I was a wee guy. Shouted at me for staring at him when I was about 7, 8, and I was convinced he was going to kill me one day. Ran in the house every time I seen him for about 3 years till the day he moved. Fucking best day of my life.
Mate, that's mad.
That's pure terrible. That's a rational feel.
That
You should have been worried.
You should have been scared of that man. That man wasn't
Shouted
even.
at you for staring at him. That's the thing about like how funny is it like when something like that happens to you in person, that like you're just like minding your business and you're kind of like you something like that and they're like, you fucking liar. You're like, what? Like, it purely catches you off guard.
Aye,
Mate, especially if you're 7 or 8.
Mate, there was a guy when I was growing up in where I lived that was like a junkie, and he was like your pure like classic junkie. Like he was pure like pure like a zombie looking kind of thing, and he was like he used to walk and pure like he would be away in front of him, would be pure staggering. Know what I mean? I was actually petrified of him.
But that is like when you're a kid. When you're a kid, that is just like a zombie. That's like a real life zombie
walking about asking me for a kick of my ball and all that. Like, no, mate.
Never gave them the ball. You'd never
It just
back.
turns to dust, mate.
But cheers, Gary. We've got another one. You said it, to be honest. Megan is scared of the ocean in general. Feel sick just thinking about it. Horrifying.
Aye, I'm right behind that, mate. Anything
Is it the vastness of it?
The vastness of it's what, but it's two different fears, I think, because I'm scared of like sharks. I'm scared of the vastness of the ocean, and I'm scared of pure huge things. So like, there's a mad thing today where like the ocean is similar to that huge things fear. Do you know what I mean? So like there would always be like mad pictures of monuments like in Italy. My cousin stays in it, goes back to Italy all the time. He's like half Italian, and he stays next to Lake Garda, which has got a sunken city in it. And it's like a big big proper castle walls and that in this fucking big lake. And he always like goes under and takes pictures with his camera, and see whenever he sends them to me, I pure drop my phone or that. Mate, I get pure fright with shit like that. Aye. So I'm with you in that one, defo.
Right, fair dues. Judge Judy 69 says the sound an angry frog makes scares the shit out of me now that he's sent a video for backup for this.
For reference.
For reference.
He cited his sources.
Just saying, this is 11 minutes, but let's just play a bit here. Hold on, I'll just put it in the mic.
I don't like it. Oh no, I don't like it at all.
Oh, we've had enough. Oh,
That sounds like
my God, mate.
a squealing.
See, I mean, that is pretty crazy, Judge. I'll give you that, man. What the fuck?
How do you even know about that fear?
And how do you know they're angry? Maybe it's before they attack or something, I don't know. But
A frog attack.
yeah, they were attacking the ones.
Don't worry.
As well, I remember like no knowing what the sound of foxes having sex was and being like,
aye.
something's getting murdered out there, man.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
Like a deer or something, a lion had found it or something.
They sound mental, mate. Foxes shagging, that's such a weird thing because it's like just pure not common knowledge. Like you would just go if you hear it, oh, foxes shagging, and it's the pure most out of this world sound you've ever heard in your life. Not out of this world in a good way. Like, if you're,
When you said that, then I was like,
like not of this earth. I meant like,
otherworldly.
Aye, exactly.
Otherworldly. Aye, so cheers for that, Judge Judy. That was terrifying.
Aye, it was.
Bobo Baldi says Tom Zanetti, which I get.
Aye, who is Tom Zanetti again?
He's
Is
like
that
a
the
mad. He's like
Oh,
a
the
mad
mad-
dance.
Like, oh, that is music.
What's that?
That mad dance.
Pure. I don't know. It's handsome.
What was that tune, mate, a few years ago?
White guy rap in a sort of Balenciaga way.
Aye,
if that makes
like
sense.
EDM back.
Aye, like
beating
pure,
up.
like, aye, but he done the celebrity boxing there and he was devil charging out his nut, mate.
Was
He's
he?
just constantly charging at but fair dues to him, but that is pretty terrifying to be constantly charging, so
Irrational, but because he's not gonna come and get you.
aye. Declan McIver says moths get them to fuck.
Aye,
I hate a moth.
moths are bogging. Why are they all
Moths can fuck
dusty,
off.
man?
Just hanging about lights all the
They've got
all the
hundreds
time.
of dust
Lots
oil
dust
on
and like
them.
lampshades.
Mate, no, I don't get about moths. How are they flying? Why are they allowed to fly if they've not got eyes?
It's no like a
don't.
They're blind, mate.
they just fall. They just sense the light, don't they?
Sniff it all out, mate.
But you said it aloud as if like air traffic control would need to be like, ah, right,
Aye.
the moths can go up now.
Right up. Red lights and that.
You're like, how's this allowed? They should never, they can't even see.
Protesting and that.
One guy with a sign. Ban moths from flying that. We should start
Clap
that
their
movement.
wings, clap their wings. Mate, if you've not got eyes, you shouldn't be flying.
And that
That goes for like.
that goes too well.
Aye, it does, mate. That's
You've not got
that's
eyes, you
sense.
can't fly. That should be the rule. Right, but moths get them to fuck.
Aye, fuck moths.
Ailey McAvoy says pigeons. Of course,
Aye.
I agree with that. Disgusting, dirty things. But are they ever going to harm me? No, probably no. I mean, they could. They've got the ability. They've got the sheer
I
mass.
think after they listen to this podcast, I know they're coming for you. You know what I mean?
Pigeons raging in there. But we need to get down there.
So, you were this cunt saying about us, John?
Aye, pigeons. I fucking hate them. This one's an odd one. Connor G says kettles.
Kettles? Oh well, mate. See when a kettle
How
gets
can you
boiling.
be that's got to be fake? How can you be scared of a
See when
kettle?
a kettle boils and it starts shaking, there's steam coming out the tap of
Aye.
it. That is a bit scary. See, I've got a kettle tap. Know what I mean? So
Oh, mate, you're posh, man.
the posh as fuck for it.
Different for Jamie Kelly.
What's that?
Life's different.
Exactly, mate. Brick house and Tintoon. What are you going to do about it?
You're asking for trouble, man. So next one's David. He says slugs but no snails.
Slugs, but no snails. Aye, snails make more sense.
Snails have a wee house to sit in. Slugs are just raw dogging it out there, bro.
They're homeless snails.
I'm not that scared of snails, to be honest.
Nah, because they're
Or
slow,
slugs.
aren't they?
I'll tell you, slugs I can deal with a slug. No, a
Aye.
spider and that can move
Aye,
rapid,
they're
bro.
erratic, bro. See, I think, do you know what you're scared of, mate? Uncertainty and like wild movements and that.
Aye.
Because that's why you don't like the birds
I
either.
like to know what's going on.
Aye, you like to be able to path something.
I like to go, this is going to happen next.
Like, because you can see if a slug's going that way, you can see he's going to go that way and he might turn that. See, like a bird.
I've always said I'll take a lion on before I take a pigeon on.
In the Colosseum,
If I know what you're going to do, I can back myself. With a bird, there's no
you can outthink
there's
it.
no telegraphing it. Really. Matthew Sinclair says had a pal that was terrified of crisps, couldn't go near them.
Aye, no, that's a weird one, that.
Crisps,
Depends what flavour, doesn't it, really?
prickled onion.
If you get prickled onion, fair dues.
That's a bit. I can't understand.
I love
that
crisps, mate. Crisps are like my favourite
How
thing in
can
the
you be
world.
scared of a crisp? That's madness. Declan Sweeney says my cousin hated buttons. Used to chase her about with a packet of chocolate buttons.
Oh, so all buttons, do you think?
I like the shape of a button, just like
Oh, what? That's a bit mad.
That is
Mate,
mental.
Have you heard of the trypophobia? The mad fucking the holes. Like when you're scared of all wee holes in a like symmetrical circle. People are scared of buttons because they've got like 4 wee holes
maybe
on them.
that is it.
Could be.
But that's pretty mad. I don't know.
That's insane, mate. Chasing about with chocolate buttons.
The fact you actually chased her, I mean, that's something you would do when you were younger, to be honest.
Aye, torture.
Just to see fear. Carly Bowen says, me and my brother both have irrational food fears. I'm terrified of yogurts and he is terrified of bananas. Can't be near anyone who has a yogurt in their hand.
Oh, that's mad to have a yogurt.
Can't he be near, like,
yogurt's
can't he even just be in the room?
That is a weird treat, but it is a treat. It's nice, but it is a weird thing, a yogurt in it.
I think the thing I've learned with like things like yogurt, eggs, don't think about it too much and you'll be alright.
Aye, don't think about where it's came from. Don't think about its past. We've all had a past, that's what you say to them.
You deserve a second chance, right?
So get scrambled. Get in my pan.
Get scrambled. That sounds like a catchphrase or something. So get scrambled.
I could work in egg advertisement.
Egg advertisement. So next one, Robbie Stewart says white Michael Jackson.
Oh, I get it a wee bit.
There's something I've been hearing about him.
Aye.
Apparently he's a paedophile.
Michael Jackson.
White Michael Jackson only.
But just the white one.
Just the white one.
But he was so good where they went.
It turned him evil.
Oh, right.
It turned him evil, bro.
So that Neverland and all that.
Actually, when Sean came on at Christmas time, he was speaking about Mr. Jackson for a while.
Aye.
Aye, as Sean likes to call him Mr. Jackson.
He was also calling fucking R. Kelly Mr. Kelly.
Aye, Jamie's uncle, man. Nah, I mean, I kind of get it, man.
Mate, I'm thinking about all these if you were faced with them in a dark room. I was faced with a white Michael Jackson in a dark room, I'd shite myself.
I know. One of my mates has a fear of crisps. Somebody else has wrote that.
Me need to look into it.
Whole second deep fried on crisps.
Right, so we've got another. Scott Stevenson says he's also afraid of crisps, so we
need to do something about this.
We need to kind of look at it. We thought that was fake, but also McGrady, boy from work, shit scared of cold beans. And then the one above it, Callum Watson says my pal's afraid of baked beans.
Aye.
So
cold beans I can understand.
Hot bean, imagine like hot beans. He's like, no, it's alright, they're hot. He's
aye,
like,
they're roasting.
Thank
Couldn't
God.
see the wee steam coming out.
So I didn't see that.
Aye, but cold beans are a bit of a bogging thing.
And then following on for the bean thing, David Miller said, I'm looking on Mr. Bean if I'm honest.
Oh.
And I get that. Mr. Bean's quite creepy looking.
Think so?
Aye.
Disney talking that.
Aye, it's a that'd be
good.
terrifying.
That was really good there, wasn't it?
Aye. Oh my God, you want to tell us something, bro? Are you Mr. Bean?
My dad.
Are you coming out as Mr. Bean? My dad.
My dad, mate. Aye, who is that? Is that not like a mad? It's a pure good actor, that
Rowan
cunt, isn't he?
Ron Atkinson.
Aye.
Aye. Shout out to him.
Known as Mr. Bean.
A friend of the show, Ron Atkinson. Mackenzie Sinclair's following on the bird trend. Says, geese mate, my gran used to have a goose called Max. And it would always chase me about, shouting at me. Shouting, oh yeah, fucking read it.
Shouting at me.
Go and help your granny with the washing. Come on, the goose. It bit my dad once. It looked well sore. Ever since then, never trusted the cunts.
Aye, mate, geese are a bit...
How do you own a goose?
I don't know. But they are unpredictable things, mate.
Birds, every bird
do you know
is.
there was in Springburn Park there was settled Canadian geese, like Canada goose. Like they flew out here and then it iced up.
Is that just bad jackets?
The jackets, aye.
Just like
That's why
it's settled in the park.
Just
Set on
camp.
Big hoosies made their jackets though. Cooking on jackets.
Jackets, making files, my jackets.
Burning jackets on the fire. Cooking it.
Set up a wee jacket community.
Fuck me, man. And then we'll do one more, right? We don't have time to do them all because there's so many. Right, last one, troops. Your uncle has wrote in saying, bro, when I was a wee guy, I had a fear of the mad extractor fan in my auntie's toilet.
Oh, mate.
That is a mad thing, but innit? Being scared of like a fan.
Aye, do you know my dad had just disconnected one the day for his toilet. He'd like turned all the electricity off when just cut the wire because it was heavy and he's nothing. Like the wee sound, the wee, you know what I mean?
Aye.
So aye, that happened today. It's just funny that
it's
he's brought that
it's
up.
dedicating.
Aye.
Mate, but
I
look,
do get that though.
Aye.
The kind of extractor fan thing.
Aye,
It's
I
like
know.
another wee portal to somewhere. Know what I mean?
I what's through the fan.
Exactly,
Who
mate.
knows? That's what we're trying to look for.
That's
in
the
deep fried.
question, mate.
But troops, hope you enjoyed it, man. Need to wrap it up and need to go home at some point. So, aye, we hope you enjoyed it. As I say, most of these are on Patreon, so if you want more deep fries, we've got like 7 or 8 on there.
Aye, all sorts,
and then we've got like watch alongs for things with deep fried and that as well on there. So if you want more deep fried, they will be coming on YouTube, but you basically get one a month
Drop
on
them on YouTube.
we basically get them one a month on Patreon. So if you want more content like this, all our shows ad free, then get over to the Patreon behind the scenes stuff as well. So patreon.com/Reilly's Gaff. Cheers. You made it to the end. Well done, my friend. And you are my friend because you made it to the end. But if you want more Reilly's Gaff, if you want to see all our episodes ad free, you want bonus episodes every month, behind the scenes stuff, and just to support us, you can sign up for the Reilly's Gaff Patreon, patreon.com/Reilly's Gaff.